I'm hiding. It's freezing.
Welcome in, Norse Nation. We had first pitch here at 2:31 p.m. from Youngstown, Ohio, campus of Youngstown State University, where the Norse begin game 2 in a series of 3 against Youngstown State. Kenzie Goley, freshman right fielder for the Norse, stands in, takes strike 1. It's game 2 of the series yesterday. Most things went wrong for the Norse, unfortunately losing 17-3. Norse looking to bounce back here in the second game of the 3-game bill here. Doubleheader today. Here's a ball fouled off left side by goalie, 1-2 the count. So the Norse looking to put that game out of their system. Just totally refocus after that. Everyone goes through or has gone and will go through games like that where you just can't seem to find your footing. But today's a new day. We got 2 we're playing here. Norse looking to definitely get back and take this one if possible. There's the ball upstairs. Count evens at 2 to goalie. Temperature 37 degrees here, sunny. A few clouds in the sky, very cold. There was some concern we would even get the game in yesterday because of temperatures and real feel, but looks like we're going to get these off today. There's another ball fouled off left side by goalie. 2-2 the count. Kenzie stands in and takes a 2-2 pitch. There's a swing foul tip, but it's caught for a strikeout. So goalie goes down swinging on strikes here for the first out of the inning. That brings up center fielder, senior Jenna Rhodes out of Wilmington, Ohio. That ball fouled straight back to the screen for strike 1. There's a strike. So Jenna quickly falls down 0-2 the count. Good news. Jenna's an excellent 2-strike hitter here. She knows the strike zone well. She'll be particular about this next pitch or 2 that she may see out of the strike zone. There's a foul ball off the screen there. Jenna going into protect mode here, needing to cover, down 0-2 in the count. Chilly day on hand. Folks in their winter gear, knit caps, blankets are out. Sun is out though. There's a ball hit to center field, and that's caught by the center fielder. So Rhodes flies out to center for the second out of the inning. That brings up first baseman Brielle DeMemo, senior out of St. Louis, Missouri. Brielle's been swinging a hot bat here. We'll look for that bat to warm up again here in games 2 and 3 of the series if the North are to be successful. Stands in and takes first pitch strike. There's a ball lifted in the air on the right side of the infield. Second baseman squeezes it for the third out of the inning. So the Norse go 1-2-3 to start things off here at the top of the first. We'll be back to start the bottom of the first. You're watching the North Softball Network. Welcome back, Norse Nation. Getting ready to start the bottom of the first inning. We'll give you a rundown of the defensive positioning for the NKU Norse here. We got freshman left-hander Makari Chapman in the circle. Emma Ginn behind the plate, completing the battery. Got Brielle DeMemo at first, Peyton Muller-Stens at second, Lexi Morris at short, Mac Brow at third. In the outfield, from left to right, we have Victoria Flores, center field, Jenna Rhodes, and right field, Kenzie Gully. So the Norse looking to get off to a better start today than they did yesterday. Yesterday they went 1-2-3 in the top of the first, and then followed that up by giving up 4 runs in the bottom half of the first, and never were able to recover after that. Kendall Ford came in and gave a solid second inning, but the wheels fell off where the Norse ended up giving up 9 runs in the third inning and 4 in the subsequent inning, which led to their 17-3 run roll defeat. So count to the leadoff batter. Number 16, Bella Mayer, sophomore infielder out of Champion, Ohio. Goes up 2 in the count here against Chapman in the circle. There's a good pitch strike on the outside part of the plate. And again, if you're the Norse, you got to have a very short memory. Get that last game out of your system. Today's a new day. They could still take the series by winning the next 2 games here, but they are going to have to really focus, adapt, adjust, and get the bats going, get the pitching going, and fire on all cylinders here. This is a good hitting Youngstown team. but the Norse are up for the challenge. There's a ball fouled out of play into the bullpen, just out the outstretched arms of Brielle DeMemo at first. So Mayer stands in again with the 2-2 count, facing Chapman. There's a ball deflected off the glove of Chapman. Over to first, recovers in time for the out. So good play, good recovery by Chapman for the first out of the inning. First pitch ball there. Number 21, Lydia Wilkerson, junior infielder out of Westerville, Ohio. And there's ball 3. 3-0 the count to Wilkerson. There's a good pitch, recovery by Chapman to go 3-1 here. Nice job by Macari coming back after 3 straight balls there to avoid the walk. And that pitch just missed outside downward for ball 4. So runner, 1 out walk here issued to Wilkerson. They'll bring up the shortstop, senior Gilkerson for Youngstown State. Gilkerson had transferred from Cleveland State after they were forced to close their softball program last year. And there's first pitch strike in the outside part of the plate. There's a ball grounded to short, over to second, over to first, but not in time. So Gilkerson reaches first on a fielder's choice, but there is 2 outs. Morris to Mullerstein's there that force out at second. And that brings up Turner, junior infielder out of Havre de Grace, Maryland. First pitch strike there. Oh, and 1 the count to Turner. Ball outside, 1-1 the count. Wind picking up just a bit. Again, around 37 degrees at first pitch. It is brisk. There's a ball hit back. Jenna Rose coming underneath it. Just over her head, an outstretched arm that will score the runner from first. And Turner in with the triple. Just as I said, that wind was picking up. That ball was hit high, stayed in the park, but just carried over the head and glove of outstretched arm of Jenna Rhodes. So unfortunate break for the Norse. And that wind is picking up. So the Penguins score first here, jump on the board. In the top of the first, still have a runner on third now. That brings up the catcher, Kennedy Dean. Kennedy out of Winfield, West Virginia. Senior. Norris trying to get this last out here. Get out of this inning. Hopefully only allowing one here. That ball fouled off right side out of play. So quickly the count moves to 0-2. As you see the runner on third, 60 feet away, 0-2 now. That ball lifted in the air. DeMemo underneath it and squeezes it for the third out of the inning. So the Penguins are able to score one in the bottom half of the first. They jump out to a 1-0 lead over the Norse. We'll be right back to start things off on the North Softball Network in just a minute. Welcome back to a chilly Youngstown State softball field here on the campus of Youngstown State University, Youngstown, Ohio. Getting ready to start the top of the second here. Norris going down in order 1, 2, 3 to start the first inning. Peyton Muller stands, second baseman, senior, stands in to lead things off for the Norse here in the top of the second, trailing by a score of 1-0. Looks like an error maybe was given. I'm looking at the scoreboard on that one by Jenna Rhodes. I don't know that she ever touched the ball. Right now, 0-0-1 for the visiting Norse, 1-0-0 for the home Penguins. So 1-2 the count to Muller-Stens. Trying to get a board here to start things off in the top of the second for the Norse. Trailing by 1 already. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Muller-Stens down on strikes to start things off for the Norse here in the second inning. That brings up designated player Brooke Keltner. sophomore out of Lockport, Illinois. Takes first pitch, low for ball one. The duo of DeMemo and Keltner have been carrying the Norse here as of late with some pop in their bats. We're looking to see that again here for these next two games. The Norse are going to need that in addition to singles and base runners. So need to find a way to get on board, whether it's a good at-bat, drawing a walk, bunting, hitting singles. Don't want to have to depend. It's nice when you have it, but don't want to have to depend on the long ball to put runs on the board. And that's what the Norse will be looking to do here. There's a swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. 1-2 the count to Keltner. There's a ball laid off just high in the zone. Good take by Brook. There's a pitch, just missed on the outside part of the plate. The Penguin fan base thought that was there, but the umpire thought otherwise, and that's the one that counts. So full count to Brook here with one down in the top of the second. Norse trailing 1-0. Here's a ball fouled back. Wind becoming a little bit of a factor, blowing straight out to dead center field. And Keltner takes the full count pitch. There's a ball grounded on the infield to the shortstop. Over to first for the second out of the inning in time. So Keltner goes 6-3. So 2 down for the Norse. That'll bring up junior catcher Emma Ginn out of Milton, Kentucky. Almost said Ohio. Emma would not have been happy with me. Looks at first pitch, curveball at the knees for a strike. Oh, and 1 the count again. That ball fouled up. Oh, what a great catch by the first baseman. Made a blind catch running with her back to the ball. Put her outstretched arm there and was able to haul that in for the third out of the inning. So again, flies out in foul territory to end the inning for the Norse. So the Norse once again go down 1-2-3 in order. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Youngstown State 1, Northern Kentucky 0. You're watching the North Softball Network. Welcome back, Norse Nation. Getting ready to start the bottom half of the second inning. Youngstown State on top 1-0 here. Makari Chapman, freshman left-hander in the circle for the Norse. Trying to keep this potent offense of the Penguins at bay here. Throws first pitch strike on the outside corner of the plate. So he uses that curveball in the lefty-lefty matchup here. Nice start by Makari. There's a ball lifted up to the shortstop. And Lexi Morris gets over to squeeze it for the first out of the inning. Just right on that left field foul line. So good play by Morris to get over there, cover some ground to the foul pole. Or the foul line, and make that for the first out of the inning. So good start for the Norse here in the bottom of the second, looking to get off the field and get back and try to get something going here with trailing by 1. Still a lot of softball to be played here. We're only in the bottom of the second. But Norse definitely don't want a repeat of yesterday, digging themselves in a hole that would be hard to recover from. There's a ball outside. One and one the count. That ball hit deep. Jenna Rhodes camps under it though. He's able to haul it in. So the wind has died down. That ball covered some ground in the air. This time Jenna had a good beat on it right off the bat and was able to haul that in for the second out of the inning. So good start so far for the Norse here in the bottom of the second with 2 consecutive outs here. There's first pitch, just missed outside for a ball. There's a ball popped up. Gully calls off Muller-Stens and squeezes it for the third out of the inning. So the Norse get the Penguins retired here in order in the bottom of the second. They'll be coming up to bat to try this thing up here in the top of the third. You're watching the Norse Softball Network. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back to the field of Youngstown State University here. Getting ready to start the top of the third. And the pitcher, number 7, Makari Chapman, stands in. Trying to reach base. The Norse have no hits so far through 2 innings. Trying to get leadoff batter aboard here. Stares at ball 1 up high and inside. Norse looking for their first base runner here on a cold and brisk, somewhat windy day here in Youngstown, Ohio. Here's a pitch on the outside corner for a strike, so count evens at 1. There was some question this weekend whether or not they would be able to get these games in because of the cold, not so much the rain. It did rain here on Thursday quite a bit, but the cold and real feel. There are some NCAA requirements that need to be met as Chapman fouls that one back in order to play, and I believe that's around 32 degrees. Again, it was 37 degrees here at first pitch. Looks to potentially climb up to the low 40s, maybe 42 degrees is the reported high by AccuWeather. There's another pitch, fouled straight back. So Chapman battling here with nobody out here in the top of the third for the Norse. Makari looking to help herself and reach base and get something going for the Norse here in the third inning. There's a ball off the glove of the shortstop, Gilkerson. That'll go down, I'm sure, as a hit. And it does. So Chapman on board after lining that one off the glove of the shortstop. So the Norse have to put it in play. There are some opportunities with the fielding here on some of the infielders for the Penguins here, but that's a big piece of this, is just putting that ball in play, forcing them to make plays and make outs, especially if you're trailing or having a tough time having the ball drop for hits. So good start for the Norse here in the top of the third. Chapman indeed helping herself, reaching base here. Let's see, looks like there was this bunt attempt that was missed. Another bunt attempt here that bunted in the air and mishandled and miscued. So Lexi Morris puts that bunt down. And just that, as I was saying, when you're down and struggling and your offense is down, sometimes just putting it in play, whether that's a bunt, a ground ball, putting the pressure and the onus on them to get you out and make plays. So the Norse have something going here. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. As the third baseman, Mac Brow, stands in. First pitch ball. Misses outside and high. It's a great opportunity for the Norse here. Let's see if they maybe sacrifice again and get runners into second and third with one out. But Mac, a good contact hitter. Let's see if she'll get the green light to hit away, or also an excellent bunter is Mac. Well, it looks like they're going to let her hit away there. So 1-1 the count. Coach Jarrett calling out a play for her runners and batter. Let's see if they go to this sacrifice here with the count 1-1 and an excellent bunter, Mac Brow, at the plate. Oh, popped it up into the air. Bad break for the Norse. That was squeezed. The runners were able to get back in time, so that sacrifice unsuccessful. Mac just got underneath that. Normally a good bunter. Bad break for the Norse, popping that one up and squeeze for the first out. So those are the little things in execution the Norse will need to continue to work on. That ball flown out to left field by Gully. Good running catch made in the left center gap there by the Penguins left fielder. So quickly, 2 down for the Norse. And as I was saying, we got to work and try to fix and correct those execution type plays, because especially in a close run game like this, a 1-0 game, you got to get that bunt down and advance those runners. There's a strike there. You have Jenna Rhodes standing in, center fielder, senior. Look for Jenna to get a line drive here somewhere. She's usually very consistent here with her hitting, has a good eye, makes good contact at the plate. There's a ball flown out to second baseman, backpedals and makes a jumping grab for the third out of the inning. So the Norse strand 2 runners after getting the first 2 aboard with nobody out here in the top of the third. They'll go to the bottom of the third, trailing by 1. You're watching Norse Softball on the Norse Softball Network. Welcome back as we get started here in the bottom of the third. Norse trailing 1-0. Not much action on the offensive side compared to that output yesterday. 20 runs scored, 17. There's a good play by Mac Brow over to first in time for the out. It's a nice play, Mac moving to her left, scooping that ball up and getting the first out of the inning. But new day, as I said earlier, short memory. Come out and do your best here, get back to what you do well. And that's what the Norse are trying to do here. So 1 down here in the bottom of the third. First pitch strike. Ball misses up high. You have number 16, Bella Mayer, sophomore, standing in for the Penguins here. 1-1 count. Chapman still in the circle for the Norse, doing a good job so far. Misses down low for a ball. 2-1 the count. Pitch down low for ball 3. 3-1 the count. Got one down so far. Don't want to give a free pass if you can help it here. Want them to earn every base they get here. There's a ball fouled off out of play. The count moves to 3-2 with one down here. In the top of the fourth, Youngstown State on top, 1-0 so far. There's a good pitch off the fist, just fouled off. And here's the full count pitch coming by Chapman. That's down low for ball 4. So the 1-out walk will put number 16 Mayer at first base. So number 21, Lydia Wilkerson, junior infielder out of Westerville, stands in. Takes first pitch strike by Chapman. Runner on first for Youngstown. There's another good pitch. So looks like McCarty's getting in some sort of a rhythm here, which is good after issuing the walk. Coming right back. Firing 2 strikes in a row to get ahead 0-2 in the count. There's a rise ball that Wilkerson laid off. Good pitch, though, trying to get her to chase out of the zone there. Ahead in the count, 0-2. Look for her perhaps to put another one out of the zone here somewhere. Being up 1-2 in the count. There's a ball off of the glove of Chapman. Just scooted away just enough to allow the runner to be safe at first. So bad break for the Norse there. Looked like she was going to come up with it. Was hit to her glove side, just bounced off the edge of the glove there. Again, bad break for the Norse. If anything, could have gotten that runner at first. Would have been probably difficult to get that lead runner. There's a ball hit. And there's a 3-run home run shot there for the Penguins. So Emma Gilkerson, who homered yesterday, follows that up today with the 3-run home run, pushing the Penguin lead to 4-0. This is a short porch here in Youngstown. The left field foul pole is 195, and so that one was hit. That would have cleared probably. There's another ball hit foul just outside the diving Kenzie Gully down the right field line. But as I was saying, the not a big field here. So, and with the wind blowing still straight out to center field, you get something up in the air today, it's likely going to carry us if it's hit well. So still one down here for the Penguins, looking to add on to their 4-0 lead. That ball taken down low. 1-1 the count. If you're Chapman, you just got to regroup here. You're still pitching a good game. It's only down 4 here in the bottom of the third. You have 4 more at bats to try to chip away at this lead again. But so that's the hardest thing, is to be able to regroup, refocus, and just focus on your next pitch and the next batter. So not a lot you could do with that one. Gilkerson, a good hitter. She's proven that over the last several years. One of the better hitters in the Horizon League. Was part of that. There's a ball lined out to Gully in left field. That ball hit hard, but Gully making a step or two to her left to make the play. So good play by the left fielder. I'm sorry, the right fielder for the second out of the inning. There's first pitch outside. They appeal. And they say she did not swing. There's a ball hit. That's in the left center, right center gap. And Kennedy Dean, the catcher, will come in with the stand-up double there with 2 outs. That ball hit well on a line in the right center field gap. No one was going to get to that. Speedy Gully or Speedy Jenna Rhodes. And again, that ball carrying. So the ball, hard to see here, folks. You might be able to see some flags behind the press box right behind home plate across the street. They're blowing at a pretty brisk pace right now as Chapman comes back with the first pitch strike on the inside part of the plate. But yeah, this and the Norse are used to this, though. At the Frank Ignatius Grind Field, it seems like anything hit in the air most days has a chance to carry and go out. So there's a ball hit up the middle. Fielded by Jenna Rhodes. She throws, ball's cut off, and there's another run. Scores for the Penguins, so they get a 2-out double, followed by a single up the middle to push their lead to 5-0. So the Norse going to regroup for a second. Again, try to refocus. Good job by Emma again and the teammates there to settle her down. Emma goes to the dugout, not sure what, getting some instruction from Coach Jarek perhaps. So the Norse looking for that 3rd out here to get off the field, giving up 4 runs in this bottom half of the 3rd. They also gave up 1 run in the bottom half of the 1st and find themselves trailing by a score of 5-0. You had some Norse pitchers warming up in the bullpen. It looked like Kendall Ford and I believe Alicia Flores getting loose, whether it's to come in for this game or for the next, perhaps. Not sure what direction. Kendall did a nice job coming in yesterday. As I said, she had been struggling a bit, but she's getting back into her rhythm, which is really good news for the Norse. You see her bringing some really good velocity yesterday and getting batters out, throws a lot of ground ball outs. And so that was really nice to see for the Norse. Kendall she's gonna definitely need to be a part of this rotation here as the Norse make their way through the Horizon League and into tournament play. There's a line drive. And that ball singled up there. So the Penguins keep things going here in the bottom of the third. They now have runners on first and third. That ball lined just in between shortstop Lexi Morris and Jenna Rhodes. Check that, runners on second and third. And that ball grounded McBrow over to first for the third out of the inning. But the Penguins put 4 up on the board to push their lead to 5-0. We're going to head to the top of the fourth here with the Norse trailing 5-0. You're watching Norse Softball Network. Welcome back, Norse Nation. Getting ready for the first pitch on the top of the fourth. First baseman Brielle DeMemo stands in. There's a ball hit foul down the left field line. The Norse with 2 hits, one of them coming by Makari Chapman off the glove of the shortstop line drive. The other was Lexi Morris on a infield bunt where she was able to reach base. Other than that, the Norse have not seen the base paths here through 3 innings, looking to change things here in the 4th inning. Brielle, if you're Brielle right now, you just want to line something somewhere. Not looking for the home run ball right now. Although she hits one, that's going. And the left fielder makes a good play. Sorry, folks, we couldn't pan over for that. But that ball hit on the line, making its way into the left center gap. And the left fielder comes over, making an outstretched catch, squeezing that ball, robbing Brielle of a double at the least. So again, bad break for the Norse, and Brielle did exactly what we had hoped for, was hitting a line drive somewhere just to start things off and get something going for the Norse in the top of the 4th. There's a ball fouled off. And Peyton Mullersten stands in, senior. out of Port Washington, Wisconsin for the Norse. Transferred in from Cleveland State as well. And looks at ball 1 upstairs. So 1-1 to count to Peyton. Norse in need of some base runners here if they're going to start to chip away at this 5-0 deficit here. There's a ball. Looks like it's fouled off the nub of the bat. Count goes to 1-2. ESPN was on the schedule, on the docket to broadcast yesterday's game, and for reasons unknown, maybe weather, maybe other commitment or contractual issues, the game was not broadcast on ESPN Plus or streamed there. So a lot of you fans at home, unfortunately, didn't get to catch the action, although many of you may be happy you didn't see some of that yesterday. But again, today's a new day, and North's playing much better today, so that's good to see. You gotta rebound. They're young. They are plastic and recover pretty easily. The best thing to see is them kind of bouncing back from that tough loss and adversity yesterday. So again, they're trailing by 5 right now on the top of the 4th. Still a lot of softball to be played yet, but good to see them coming back, fighting and competing here. Sometimes after a loss like that, you can get dejected and a little demoralized, but looks like Coach Jarek did a good job of rallying the troops and saying, hey, let's just go out. We have 2 more here to play. Let's go play the next game, see if we can win that one, and then we worry about the next one and the next one after that. So let's see if the Norse can get started here as Peyton takes a ball. 2-2 the count to Peyton Muller-Stens, senior second baseman for the Norse. Doing a good job in this middle part of the lineup for the Norse this season. There's another ball fouled off. So good battle going on. Good job of Peyton staying alive here at the plate. The 2-2 count here. Norse trailing by 5 here in the top of the 4th. 1 out. DeMemo started things off. Brielle lined a hard hit ball to the left center gap there, but was robbed by the left fielder, unfortunately for the Norse. Otherwise, we'd have someone on second base, standing on second base with nobody out. There's a good take, high and upstairs. So full count to Peyton. Nobody on, 1 out for the Norse in the top of the 4th. It's a cold and chilly day here. Looks nice perhaps on your screen at home, but it is chilly here. High of 42 expected. And good at bat by Peyton drawing the walk there. So she fouled off several pitches prior to that last ball. Took 2 balls in the last sequence there. And that's exactly what the Norse need, perhaps, to get jump-started here. That'll bring up the designated player, Brooke Keltner, number 22. There's a ball hit to the outfield, and the shortstop back pedals out on the grass to squeeze it and make the second out of the inning on the left field grass there in shallow left. So Keltner flies out to the shortstop for the second out. So 2 down now. That'll bring up the catcher, number 23, Emma Ginn. Emma takes first pitch ball high. Want to know the count again. And for this team to have success, they're going to need Emma's bat to start heating up as well. She has power. She's a good contact hitter. And the Norse will need her as well as they make their run here through Horizon League play. Two, know the count again. Miller stands at first after the one-out walk. Norse trying to keep this rally going here. There's a ball hit and fielded by the shortstop, Gilkerson, who steps on second for the third out of the inning. So the Norse strand a runner after a one-out walk, and they'll go down. Still trailing by 5. We'll be right back on the North Softball Network to start the bottom half of the fourth. Welcome back to the Youngstown State softball field on the campus of Youngstown State University, Youngstown, Ohio. Getting ready to start the bottom half of the fourth inning. As number 18, Layla Stazak, freshman outfielder, stands in from Tallmadge, Ohio. Left-hander against the left-handed Chapman in the circle for the Norse. Takes first pitch for a ball. 1-0 the count. There's a good pitch, tailing off the plate for a strike. So 1-1 the count. And it's real big after giving up a 4 spot in the last inning for the Norse to try to get off 1-2-3 here. And there's a ball hit to center field. And Jenna Rhodes back and makes the catch. Jenna positioned well against the lefty there, shaded over to the left, and pretty good position there, anticipating that outside pitch, and good job of positioning by the outfield here. So 1 down here. So good start for the Norse here, retiring their first batter in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch, a ball. That ball hit right at Jenna Rhodes over the head. She's going to get that. That ball scooted and got away from Mullerstens on the throw in. And number 16, Bellamayer, in with the stand-up double. Line drive over the head of the center fielder. Rhodes gets to the fence. And that's the hardest play in baseball or softball, folks. A line drive hit right at you, especially with some wind behind that ball. Really hard to judge, and that ball just continued to carry. There's another ball hit in the gap. Jenna Rhodes gets it back into the infield there. And another run comes across the plate for the Penguins. So after a quick leadoff out, the Penguins put together two back-to-back doubles to the fence here and tack on another run. The Norse take a timeout here in the circle. The Norse have sophomore Kendall Ford in the bullpen. She's warming up. They also have freshman Abigail Bird, who pitched the end of the game yesterday. Abigail struggling with an injury to her hand in the previous series, where a ground ball deflected off of her hand and injured her on her pitching hand. And reflexively, sometimes it's you try to knock pitches down or reflexively try to react to balls hit directly at you when you're in the circle, and it looked like one clipped her hand. So the Norse have some injury concerns in their bullpen, but let's see if we can get through this one here. Coach Jarek electing to stay with freshman Makari Chapman, trailing by 6. There's a ball hit hard and deflected. That ball scooped up by Victoria Flores in left and got into the infield. That ball hit hard, lined off the glove of third baseman Mac Brow. And Youngstown now has runners on first and third, still with one out here. There's a good pitch on the outside part of the plate, fouled off for a strike. Again, it's about composure, regrouping. Only one given up so far this inning, so with one out, the Norse looking for another out here. Not the fastest runner at first, so potentially a ground ball somewhere up the middle would potentially get them onto this inning. As we take a look at runner on first and third for the Penguins. It's a good pitch up out of the zone, fouled back. The count evens at 2. Runners on first and third on the corners for the Penguins. Have one run across on a pair of doubles, one out doubles here, followed by a single by the Penguins. And the count goes full here. So runners on first and third, one down. One run across already for YSU here in this bottom half of the fourth. There's a good pitch by Macari, just off the plate and high, and defensive swing there by the Penguins batter to try to stay alive. And here's a 3-2 pitch. That ball lifted into center field. Jenna Rhodes gets under it, squeezes it, and gets it back into the infield. But that will score the runner who tags up from third. So the Penguins get another runner across. 2 down, though, now for the Norse. Runner still on first. Catcher Kennedy Dean, senior out of Winfield, West Virginia, stands in for the Penguins. Kari Chapman still throwing for the Norse. There's a good pitch on the hands there, fouled back. Nothing you could do with that, so keep that in mind. Maybe Coach Lacer comes back to that pitch here. Imagine you'd see one out of the zone here, 0-2, and then maybe coming back to that one who was barely fouled off and handled on the fists. A good pitch by Macari. There's a ball hit over to Lexi Morris and over to first for the out. So the Norse retire the side, but not before giving up 2 on a pair of back-to-back doubles and then a hard single sacrifice, scoring the runner at third. They take a 7-0 lead over the Norse going into the top of the 5th. You're watching NKU Softball on the North Softball Network. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, Norse Nation. Getting ready to start the first pitch here in the top of the 5th. Macari Chapman stands in and hits a line drive, but directly to the center fielder for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out for the Norse. That'll bring up the shortstop, number 14, Lexi Morris. Lexi reached base last at bat after attempting a sacrifice, get the runner from first to second. And that bunt resulted in an infield hit. It was popped up, but landed just between the catcher and pitcher, had some backspin, and Lexi was able to get on safe. The Norse did, however, go on to strand runners on first and second that inning without getting an error. So they had runners on first and second, nobody out, and were not able to advance the runners or get a run across the plate. Lexi looking to start something here for the Norse with one down, trailing by 7 in the top of the 5th here. So the Norse still have some time, but running out of time. They're going to need to start chipping away at this lead here. There's a strike right across the middle of the plate. So 2-1 the count to Morris. Junior shortstop out of Yorktown, Indiana, Yorktown High School. Here's a ball, misses upstairs and high. So 3-1 the count, and good job by Lexi here. You know, it just starts with a base runner, so whether that's a hit or a walk, just to break through, get some base runners aboard, and see if we can't manufacture a run or two here in each of the subsequent innings to follow. And there's a good job of hitting by Lexi, pushing that curveball out to right field, just slapping at that. And that's exactly what the Norse wanted here out of their junior shortstop. Good piece of hitting, good at bat by Lexi. And the Norse have a base runner here with one down in the top of the 5th, trailing by 7. Nice job, Lexi. That brings up third baseman Mac Brow. Takes first pitch, curveball for a strike. Last at bat, Mac attempted a sacrifice bunt. Unfortunately, just got under that a bit and was retired there, unable to advance those runners. Let's see if she gets a green light here. 1-1 the count to Mac. Mac also a good contact hitter. Uses the right side of the field very well for pitches off the plate and away from her. So let's look for her to do just as Lexi did here and shoot something over to the right side. And that ball fouled back out of play. So 1-2 the count to Mac Brow. Lexi Morris after the one-out singles at first. Norris trying to string some things together here. There's a ball popped up on the infield and caught by the first baseman for the second out of the inning. That'll bring the top of the order up with 2 down here. Kenzie Gully stands in. Freshman right fielder for the Norse. And takes a ball up high off the plate for ball 1. Norris looking to start a 2-1 rally here with Morris at first after that one-out single to the right side. There's a ball hit. Good play. Fielded by the left fielder who quickly gets it back in, but nice job of hitting there, going opposite field with the pitch by Gully. So the Norse have runners on first and second for the second time this game here, but 2 down though. That'll bring up senior Jenna Rhodes. Jenna seeing a lot of action in the outfield today. Had some tough plays with balls hit right at her on a line, making their way over her head. And certainly one of those in the first inning. Hit really high in the air. Looked like it may make it out of the park, but landed just on the warning track and hit the fence there. So, and Jenna's been pretty active, making a couple good catches out there for her pitchers as well in the outfield. Let's see if she can't get a hit here and push this first run across the plate for the Norse here. You got Lexi Morris on second, Kenzie Gully on first after each of them singled here in this inning. 2 down with Jenna Rhodes at the plate. There's a ball hit in the gap, and that's the way to go, Jenna. No one's going to get to that. That's going to score 2. And great job by Jenna Rhodes here. She roped that ball into the right center gap on a line. She was up in the count 1-0. They had to come over the plate, and Jenna was waiting, and it just turned on it, cranked it, and got both runners in from first and second on a stand-up double. Nice job, Jenna. So the Norse with 2 out, not wanting to go down quietly here in the top of the 5th. They do break through. 3 hits now this inning. And this coming very timely hitting with 2 outs for Jenna Rhodes, breaking through on the scoreboard for the Norse. They trail 7-2 right now. Still have 7 outs left in this game, so they'll a base hit would be good here. As Brielle DeMemo stands in, very capable as well. Be nice to get an additional run here. Youngstown will be careful with Brielle because she does have power to go deep. Home run would be nice, but a single to keep things going would be just as good here as the Norse trail by 5 with 2 down here in the top of the 5th. Already got 2 across the plate here thanks to a 2-out double by Jenna Rhodes. There's a pitch down in the plate. Jenna trying to draw a throw down, and there's going to be a time on the field. It looks like the umps are going to talk it over. Looks like there was some question if the pitcher was in the circle with the ball. It's a weird play. I'm not sure why they granted her third base. May have missed that piece, unfortunately, but Jenna danced down to third base. With no throw or no attempted, they may have granted her that base. We're coming to you from center field, so normally we have a little better idea or can overhear discussions going on closer to home plate. This time, unfortunately, we're at the mercy of secondhand information 205 feet away. And now they calling Jenna out. There's a rule where you may have to go back if you stop, if you don't advance with the ball in the circle. And it looks like they're going to potentially enforce that call, that rule for the call the umpire signaled out. And I believe that's what the call is. Jenna was off the bag. The catcher had the ball. She remained off the bag trying to draw a throw down to second base. When the ball was returned to the pitcher, That's where I missed what happened, but it looked like Jenna initially reacted back to second, but then jogged down to third to accept that additional base. After protest and conference with the umpires did raise and make the determination that Jenna was out. So Jenna's standing on third base still as the umpires hash it out with Coach Jarek and kind of give her an explanation of their interpretation of the rule and what happened. But the Youngstown State team have come off the field and are in the dugout already. Jenna still remains at third base, pending the explanation to Coach Jarek. So it would be unfortunate for the Norse as they had things going here in the top of the fifth. Jenna with a big two-out double, scoring Morris and Gully from first and second with 2 outs. But then it looks like she's going to indeed be called out. So Jenna's walking off the field here slowly. And Jarek is still trying to understand the nature of the call here, but well, we're going to take a break here. It looks like the Norse will indeed be called out, and we'll be back to start the bottom of the fifth after these messages. If I get a word on an update of what happened, I'll certainly share that with you. Well, it looks like Jenna's going back out to third base now. And Coach Jarek is fired up and upset there with the umpire. So we'll be back, and indeed Jenna was called out. So we'll be back to start things off here in the bottom of the fifth. You're watching NKU Softball on the North Softball Network. Welcome back to the campus of Youngstown State University, Youngstown, Ohio, getting ready for the first pitch here in the bottom of the fifth. That first pitch taken high for ball one. So a lot of confusion, a lot of unhappy Norse with the call that ended their little 2-out rally. And still believe it had to do with the direction of that base runner, the ball being in the circle, and Rhodes ultimately being called out. But we'll probably need to get confirmation after the game, unfortunately, on what the chain of events were leading to that out. There's a good pitch up in the zone inside by Chapman. 2-1 the count. Ray stands in, left-handed batter, infielder for the Penguins, leading things off here in the bottom of the fifth for the Penguins. They're on top 7-2. And real important for the Norse moving forward, not to give up additional runs. So trying to limit base runners, no walks, play some good solid defense behind Makari here. That ball hit, but foul. Good pitch inside. She had turned on that, but way ahead of that, and that equates to a very long strike. So full count here. Good job, good location by Makari here. There's a ground ball over to Peyton, who goes over to first for the first out of the inning. It's a good job of Chapman retiring that leadoff batter here for the Norse here. Norse trying to get 2 more outs here, make this a quick inning and get back to the plate to continue chipping away at this lead. There's a pitch right down the middle of the plate for strike 1. Ball fouled off the plate there. So nice job by Makari, up 0-2 here to this second batter of the inning. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Norse trailing by 5, 7-2. You don't want to give up bases here if you can. And there's a good pitch up in the zone for a strike. So nice job by the Norse, getting 2 consecutive outs here. 1 more would be big for them to get off the field quickly, and again, they have 2 at-bats left. They have 6 outs to chip into this 5-run deficit that they're facing. There's a ball popped up on the infield and right in between DeMemo and Ginn, and that ball falls in. So go down as a strike, probably one the Norse want to have back and squeeze and get out of this inning, but that's softball, so they got to go back to work here. 0-1 the count with 2 down, though. There's a good pitch at the knees for a strike. So quickly, 0-2 the count with 2 down here. The Norse need to retire this batter here. Not let anything get started here in this inning, trailing by 5. That ball hit and just cleared the fence, but just on the foul side of the foul pole. That ball was hit on a rope. Victoria Flores going back and watching that ball go foul. There's another pitch fouled off. Good spot, good location by Makari. Still way ahead, 0-2. Look for her to keep a couple off the plate here, not get anything over the middle or anything close for a strike here. Probably going to stay away with the screwball to the right-hander. Yep, good pitch. Just missed on that one, but that's an excellent pitch. I'd stay out there as she turned on that inside pitch, maybe a curveball to the right-hander. So let's see if they stay away. And good pitch up in the zone. Check swing, but unable to hold her. So great job by Makari Chapman getting that strike out there with 2 outs and no runs across for the Penguins. So we'll go to the top of the 6th. Norse running out of time here, but still 6 outs to chip into the 7-2 lead. You're watching NKU Softball on the North Softball Network We'll be back after this break. Welcome back, Norse Nation, as we get ready to start the top of the sixth. First baseman senior Brielle DeMemo stands in out of St. Louis, Missouri. She takes first pitch, curveball outside for a ball. And unfortunate turn of events last inning for the Norse after they put two on the board by a two-out Jenna Rhodes double. Brielle was at the plate when Jenna was called out on the base path, so the Norse will send DeMemo and Muller-Stenz, who stands on the on-deck circle, up to bat here in the top of the sixth to lead things off for the Norse. There's a soft hit ball to the first baseman. Fields it, steps on first to retire DeMemo for the first out here in the sixth inning. So one down for the Norse, trailing by 5 here. Starting to run out of time. Looking for base runners. Peyton Muller-Stenz stands in. There's a ground ball to shortstop. Very slowly hit. And by the time she fielded the line drive on, slowly hit line drive on one bounce, the speedy Peyton beat that out. So very nice job to put that in play. We talked about that earlier this game. Put it in play when you're down. You don't need there's no 5-run home run. You need base runners in a string of hits, walks, aggressive play at the plate. So that brings up number 22, Brooke Keltner. With the runner on first, and one out here for the Norse. Trying to get something going here in the top of the sixth, trailing the Penguins by 5 in this game 2 of 3 here. We are playing a doubleheader today. If you're just joining, the Penguins took the opener of this 3-game series yesterday, so they're looking to maintain this lead to take the series today. And the Norse trying to tie things up here if they can, needing 5 runs here in their last 2 at-bats. There's a strike on the outside corner. So 1-2 the count to Keltner. Brooke with excellent power and pop in her bat. Again, if she gets something up in the zone, look to her to turn on it. But really, a line drive base hit somewhere or double in the gap would be nice. And she holds on the pitch outside out of the zone. 2-2 the count to Brooke. Peyton on first. We got one down for the Norse here. Trailing by 5. Yeah, there's another pitch up in the zone. So the count goes full to Brooke Keltner, sophomore designated player out of Lockport, Illinois. And here's the 3-2 pitch. There's a ball 4. And that ball's sailed into the center field, but it was a walk. Keltner drawing the walk here. So Brooke Keltner draws a one-out walk. And that brings up the catcher, number 23, Emma Ginn. So the Norse not going away here in the top of the 6th, trying to claw their way back. Trailing by 5, it's definitely doable here. String a couple hits together. Pitcher looks to be wearing down a little bit, having difficulty locating her pitches in the strike zone. So let's see what Emma could do. Emma's due for a line drive double here in the gap somewhere. Here's a first pitch ball. It looks like hopefully the strategy of the Norse right now is just to take some pitches here with this pitcher struggling. Right now you need base runners, a walk's just as good as a hit. And it looks like the coach for the Penguins are going to go out and have a talk with their pitcher in the circle. You imagine she's telling her, hey, you have a 5-run lead here, just throw strikes, don't walk, after she just issued that one-out walk to Keltner, putting runners on first and second now with the Norse. On the flip side, if you're a Norse batter, you got to know that she may be struggling just a bit now and don't want to chase, don't want to help her out, want to wait for something if you get ahead in the count that you could drive. And Emma again stands back in with a favorable 1-0 count here. And there's another ball, so good job by Emma. Count goes to 2-0. Pitcher struggling like this, you may want to try to go deeper into the count than you normally would. However, pitcher doesn't want to get behind 3-0, so she's going to probably need to come across the plate here. Emma's aware of that and should be ready to drive one somewhere. Well, she stays out now, so way ahead in the count for Emma. You would imagine being down 5 with runners on first and second with 3-0 count. Look for Ginn to probably take 1, if not 2 strikes here. Let's see. Or will she be given a green light here by Coach Jarek? And a good job at the plate. This pitcher just threw 3 balls in a row. You figure you're down, you need base runners. You don't want to swing at something that you can't get a good barrel on. May be tempted to take one additional one, but let's see if Emma sees something she likes and she could drive. So there's 2 curveballs on the corner there. Nice job by the Penguins pitcher battling back from 3-0, but that's exactly what you want to do if you're a Norse batter right now, especially with the pitcher struggling. You need 5 runs to tie this up. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And that one upstairs. So very nice at bat by Emma Ginn. And the Norse are in business right now. And this is exactly what we said to start this inning. We need base runners. Walks are as good as hits. They had Couple walks this inning. And it looks like there may be a pitching change for the Penguins. So we're going to take a break here as they decide if they're going to go to their bullpen. The Norse threatening here to dig into this lead here in the top of the sixth. We'll be right back. You're watching NKU Softball on the North Softball Network. Welcome back, Norse Nation. As Makari Chapman stands in, we did have a pitching change for Youngstown State. They bring in a freshman pitcher, number 4. Peyton Murphy out of Dresden, Ohio. Bringing her in a tough spot with the bases loaded and only one down. Penguins have a 5-run cushion here, but the Norse threatening here. A base hit will likely score 2. And there's a ball taken upstairs. Two 2-0 the count to Makari Chapman. Still in the circle for the Norse. Has the bases loaded here. Great opportunity to help herself. There's an off-speed pitch, look like, on the outside part of the plate. 2-1 the count. The Norse need to get some of these base runners across the plate here if they want to have any hope of evening this up here. There's another ball outside. So 3-1 the count. May want to take this pitch. If you're the Norse here, again, if there's something there she sees, she may want to turn on it, but got to have some strategy here at the plate with the new pitcher coming in a tough situation. And there's a ball 4. So there's a walk issued by Dresden. With the bases loaded, that'll push another run across the plate for the Norse. The score's now 7-3. Tying run is at the plate. They'll bring up, I believe, Lexi Morris. She singled her last time at bat to right field. There's a first pitch, swing and a miss. Looked like some off speed down low. They have to be really patient here. That ball was out of the strike zone. She's chasing, looking to be aggressive here with the bases loaded, but definitely want to wait the pitcher out here, trailing by 4 now. There's another pitch, maybe off speed again. So Lexi gets down in the count here quickly, 0-2. She's going to really need to shorten her swing, keep her head on it, and just put this in play. A ground ball to the infield likely scores another run here for the Norse with the bases loaded here. So infield is back for the Penguins with the 4-run lead now. There's another changeup, but that ball fouled off there. So good job to hang in there by Lexi. Down in the count, 0-2 here though with the bases loaded. That ball fouled off back to the screen. So if you're Lexi, you've seen some off-speed pitches already. You got to be sitting back on that. Don't want to get too far out in front of that. If nothing else, just foul that off like she just did that previous pitch. But you got to be looking off speed here. There's a good job to stay alive. That one fouled off down the third baseline. And Lexi stands in, still down in the count, 0-2 here. Bases loaded for the Norse. They do have one across here in the top of the 6th, trailing by 4. There's another ball fouled off. So great job of battling by Lexi Morris here. Shortstop out of Yorktown, Indiana, junior. Needs to be aware they could come back to that off speed here. They got her swinging on a couple of those this at bat. There's a ball hit to outfield. And the center fielder catches it. Victoria Flores does tag from third. And Lexi Morris hits a good ball out to the center fielder who makes a good catch on the run. But the Norse do get another run across. They've scored 2 already here in the top of the 6th. They cut into that lead again. It's now 7-4. The Norse trailing by 3. So nice job. That ball was hit on the screws there. That center fielder made a nice running catch in the left center gap for the Penguins, saving perhaps a bases clearing triple or double by Morris. So very easily the score could be 7-6 right now. Good defensive play by the center fielder for the Penguins. So Marley Loudermilk gets the at-bat here, pinch hitting for third baseman Mac Brow. There's a pitch low on the inside. So runners on first and second now for the Norse. 2 down. Norse trying to get any additional run across that they can. Loudermilk stands in with the taking that pitch upstairs, moves ahead in the count 2-0. And there's a single up the middle. That will score another run for the Norse. So Marley Loudermilk coming up big, pinch hitting for the Norse with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Runner on first and second, delivers a single up the middle, scoring the Norse 3rd run of the inning. They now trail by only 2 with runner on first and second now. And what a comeback for the North so far. This inning's still not done. They did push 3 across so far this inning, pushed 2 across last inning. And the North not done yet. Kenzie Gully stands in as the lineup turns over for the Norse. Runners on first and second. And here's an off-speed pitch on the outside part of the plate for a strike. So 1-1 the count to Gully. 2 down, runners on first and second. Timely hitting by Marley Loudermilk coming in a pitch hitting role here. Delivers for the Norse. There's an off-speed pitch. Swung and missed by Gully. She'll have a talk there with Morgan Jarek, her coach, standing over at third base. So 1-2 the count to Gully. Runners on first and second for the Norse. 2 down. They have chipped away at this lead. It was 7 after 4. The Norse threw up 2 in the 5th, ended on a controversial out with Jenna Rhodes on base. And now throwing up 3 here in the 6th, looking to add on and cut into this lead more. And Gully called out on strikes there on that off-speed pitch that just got the outside part of the plate. But the Norse put up 3 runs this inning. They cut into the lead, now trailing by 2 runs. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. The Norse trailing 7-5. We'll be right back on the North Softball Network. Welcome back, Norse Nation. Getting ready to start the bottom of the 6th inning. Norse putting up 3 in the top half of this inning and 2 in the top half of last inning, totaling 5 runs. They were trailing 7-0. So the Norse looking to get off the field here. Hopefully a 1-2-3 effort here would be nice and give them one shot at scoring 2 runs to tie things up here in the 7th, should they be able to get out of this inning and not allowing any runs. Freshman Makari Chapman still in the circle for the Norse, giving up 7 runs on 8 hits through 5 innings. She quickly works ahead in the count 0-2. There's a ground ball deep in the hole, and it gets by the first baseman DeMemo, but backups there and the runner unable to advance. But pretty sure they'll give her a hit. That ball pretty deep in the 5-6 hole there, fielded by Morris, but was pretty deep in the hole to be able to make that an out. Let's see. Yep, and they do give a hit to the batter on that play. So leadoff batter aboard for Youngstown State, and there's a bunt fielded by Chapman over to DeMemo for the out. Nice job of fielding her position by Makari. And the Penguins are able to sacrifice that leadoff hit over to second base. So 1 down, runner on second for the Penguins. If you're Youngstown State, you're trying to get an insurance run here, push this lead up going into the last inning, putting more pressure on the Norse to come up with more than 2 runs. If you're the Norse, you need 2 more outs here, trying to hold them without scoring here in this bottom half of the 6th. The Penguins are the home team, so they'll get, should the Norse be able to come back and tie things up in the 7th, they will get the last bats in the bottom of the 7th inning. So those are kind of the objectives of both teams right now. That brings up number 21, Lydia Wilkerson for the Penguins. Takes first pitch high and inside for a ball. And there's a pitch just missed off the plate for ball 2. So 2-0 the count to the third batter of the inning for the Penguins. Runner on second with 1 out. In a 7-5 game here. Norse clawing their way back into this one in the 5th and 6th inning, scoring 5 total runs here. Trailing by 2, desperately trying to not allow Youngstown State to score an additional run here in the bottom of the 6th. There's a ball hit to the right fielder Gully, who makes a good catch on the run, squeezing it. Runner not able to advance on the tag to third base. So nice play coming in, running in on that line drive by Gully in right field. That brings up number 29, Gilkerson, who homered earlier in this game. There's the first pitch strike on the outside part of the plate. So way to get ahead by Makari here. Oh, and 1 the count. Good pitch, good spot, just missed. Off the plate, 1-1 the count. There's another pitch off the plate. 2-1 the count. A walk wouldn't be a bad thing here in this situation. Got 2 down, runner on second, runner on first wouldn't be such a bad thing. Work on the next batter here, but let's see if they stay away too. There's a good pitch on the outside corner for a strike. So nice job of battling back here. 2-2 the count. Got 2 down. Dangerous hitter at the plate for the Penguins. Norris trying to get off the field and try to tie things up here in the next inning. It'll be their last at bat. 3 outs away. There's a ground ball fouled out of play. And there's a 2-2 pitch. That ball lined into the outfield. And scoring that run at second, so the Penguins do get the out, or the run across. I apologize. The Norse failed to get that last out of the inning. So the Penguins get an insurance run here. They're not done yet with 2 outs, runner at first. And the score moving to 8-5. And that brings up Sella Moyer, junior infielder out of Tiffin, Ohio for the Penguins. Stands in on the right side. Takes first pitch strike from Chapman. That pitch sails outside, high and off the plate. One and one the count. Runner on first for the Penguins. They did get one across here to push the lead to 8-5. There's a ball lined hard in the right center gap. Gully gets it at the fence, but that is going to score the runner all the way from first. And the Penguins get another run across the plate here with 2 outs. That runner scoring from first base. They did put a pinch runner in for Gilkerson, who may not have the greatest speed, and that pinch running move by the Youngstown State coach pays off as that runner's able to score from first on the double. There were 2 outs, so that runner's running on contact, but that ball hit hard in the gap all the way to the fence, allowing that runner to score from first. So the lead swells to 9-5 here. Youngstown State still with the runner in scoring position at second with 2 outs. They enjoy a 4-run lead right now. Norse trying to get off the field here and get back in their top half of the 7th to try to tie it up. They're going to need, at least as things stand now, 4 runs to tie it, to push things into the bottom of the 7th. If the Norse keep this lead at 4 and are unable to score, the game would be over. There's a good pitch and a swing and a miss for Chapman. So they stop the bleeding here, but do give up 2 runs. That lead swells from a 2-run lead to a 4-run lead, score 9-5. As we head to the top of the 7th, we'll be right back for our last inning of action. You're watching the North Softball Network. Welcome back, Norse Nation. Getting ready to start the top of the 7th. Senior center fielder Jenna Rhodes stands in for the Norse. Takes first pitch, strike on the outside part of the plate. Norse need 4 runs to tie this up and push this into the bottom half of the 7th. There's a bunt by Rhodes taken over to first. And that will record the first out for the Norse here. Jenna doubled last at bat, scoring 2 runs in the 5th before being called out on a controversial base paths event. So 1 down for the Norse. They're down to 2 outs here, trying to get 4 runs to keep this game going. If not, the Penguins will have taken the first 2 in the series of 3. Again, we'll be playing a second game of the doubleheader today, approximately 30 to 35 minutes after the conclusion of this game. We are at approximately 4:43 Eastern time here, so there's a ball hit hard into left field by Brielle DeMemo. So Brielle keeping things alive for the Norse. Now with 1 down, runner on first. Peyton Muller-Sten stands in, second baseman, senior for the Norse. There's a ball in the dirt. Good stop by the catcher. Brielle unable to advance on that, and don't want to take a chance of getting thrown out on the base pass, trailing by 4 runs in the last inning. So play it somewhat conservative here as they try to tie this thing up here. And there's a strike on the inside part of the plate. One and one the count to Peyton. There's an off-speed pitch again for a strike. So 1-2 to Muller-Stens. DeMemo at first after the 1-out single. Norse needing base runners here to try to tie it up. They need 4 runs here. Just got a piece of that off-speed pitch there. So Peyton stays alive. And here's the 1-2 pitch. That ball popped up behind home plate. The catcher and unable to grab that ball, so lucky break for the Norse there. That would have been the second out of the inning. Instead, Peyton gets new life here. We'll get another chance at the plate here after that dropped ball by the catcher. Imagine they would or should give her an error. I'm not sure about that. I don't see it on the scoreboard yet, but there's a ball up in the zone. So 2-2 the count. Hopefully Peyton can make them pay for that error there. It's usually what happens in these games, especially softball. You give them another opportunity. And there's a change-up, swing and a miss. So the Penguins able to come out of that one unscathed there. So 2 outs now. The Norse down to their last out here in the top of the 7th. Runner on first. They are trailing by 4. And Brooke Keltner stands in. There's like a check swing there, fouled that off into foul territory down the left field line there by Keltner. So 0-1 to Brook. DeMemo at first. There's a ball fouled off out of play down the right field line into the bullpen. So the Norse down to their last strike right now, needing 4 runs. Have 2 outs here, trailing by 4. Brook hopefully he's watching for the off-speed stuff here. Nope, they come back hard off the plate. A good take by Brook, not chasing anything off the plate. She is a catcher, so knows the strike zone well. Norris just looking to get a hit here. Keep things going for the next batter. And there's a changeup that freezes her at the plate. Called third strike looking, and that will be the game. So good effort by the Norse, good comeback, good effort after that hard loss yesterday. They'll look to try to salvage 1 game out of this 3-game series, already dropping the first 2. So the Penguins will win this series, but the Norse will come back here in roughly 35 minutes to try to at least salvage 1 game in the series here. Again, final score 9-5. Youngstown State over the Norse. We'll be right back after these break here. You're watching the Norse Softball Network.